So the first thing that I do when I meet with you is I help you understand your exercise personality. So some people are capable of sticking with an exercise program, and they need to have a very specific way to do that. It might be have a membership at a gym, and it might be following a class and following a teacher, or they might need to be outside, or they might need to be part of a team, or they might need to do something that's very spirited, like a particular type of dance. So I help you understand, how do you like to exercise? How do you like to move? Again, do you want to be inside? Do you want to be outside? Do you prefer to only be outside in the summer? All of these things, often people don't think of. They just join the gym because it's convenient and it's on the way home, but they hate the gym and they hate mirrors and they hate machines. So you really need to understand, how do you stay motivated? Because most people, when they think of exercising and they think of sticking to it, they think of nasty discipline. But discipline is self-care. It is not something that you follow. It's actually something that comes from in you, that you want to do this. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you're tight. Yes, the hamstrings always feel short. But you want to do it because you always feel better afterwards. Always, always, guaranteed. And that's what I make sure, is that although it might be very challenging for you to exercise, I show you how to do it in a way that you always feel better afterwards. Always. You feel more energized, more alive, more clearer mind, more mobile, more flexibility, less back pain, neck pain is gone every time. That I can say. So I help you feel inspired by how you can exercise in a way that's effective, that's challenging, that gets results, but it's not just following a program. It's exercising more intuitively. For example, let's say you showed up and you had a really stiff neck. This is very common. Then I would ask you questions about what is going on in your life. And that would be part of our session. And I do it in a very clever way where we're doing it while we're exercising. And I'd be giving you very specific stretches. And you'd probably be releasing verbally the pain in the neck, which was probably the boss at work, which I've noticed, for example. That's one client I work with. And she starts to tell the story of her day, and by the end of the session, the pain is gone. So this is what I mean, is that the session is very intuitive. I work with what you bring in that day, because I can't tell you what your body needs before you arrive, before you show up. And that's what's so beautiful about this session, is it's super personal. And I get to really read what's going on inside your body. And that's my specialty, is I love to work with the body. I trust the intelligence in the cells. And so I want you to learn how to trust that, and how to trust that you'll continue to do repeats and you'll stick with the exercise. You need to know how. You need to know how to exercise in a way that represents you and how you like to exercise and what your body needs. Because ultimately, swear to God, exercise feels good. Even when it hurts, the healthy hurt, you always feel good at the end. You don't feel more tired, you don't wish you'd done that email, and you don't wish that you'd done the laundry. You feel good. I don't know anybody that's ever exercised and then not felt happy that they did afterwards. So I really help you to get to the happy place, and tone and strength, and work all 5 components of fitness. So flexibility, agility, muscular endurance, maximum strength, and balance. And all of these are important. So we can't just do yoga or just do strength training in order to offset osteoporosis, or just do pranayama, breath practice, to help with the anxiety level, which is the emotional component. All of the areas of you need to be addressed. And that's what I suss out when I meet you. Because you might just need to work with back pain, but then I find out actually you're dealing with a mother-in-law home issue. So I need to know everything that's going on in your life. And if you're able to get intimate and understand what's going on in your life with yourself, that's going to help you to stick with an exercise program. Because exercise is never just about the body. It's about the belief system you come in with. It's about the stresses that are informing your life at this time. It's about all pieces of you. All of you, and that's what comes into an exercise session, and what I call the laboratory, which is the mat, or the exercise mat. So that's what I really help you to do, is understand how to stick with exercise, how to do it effectively, how to do it with less pain, just the good pain, hurt, and make sure that you're going to your edge, so that you're challenging the muscles enough that you're increasing your strength, muscular endurance, and your mobility, range of motion, and flexibility. And by the way, you can increase your flexibility every year. You don't need to get older and more crusty. You can actually get more flexible as you get older because you've had more time. So there's so many things I want to bust that people that believe about time passing, or what they call aging in the body, because you actually get fitter as time goes on, because you've had more time to learn how you need to work with your body. So true discipline is self-care. It's sensitive. It's always adapting to what your body needs that day, and that's what I teach you to do, is how to listen to your body. So the next thing that we do when we do a private one-on-one is I help you understand what you want to change. What are the declarations you're making? So for example, it might be to feel more energetic. It might be to have a better relationship with your partner. It might be changes in eating habits. And what I help you do is understand specifically what you need at this point in your life. Is it to change your vocation? Is it to work on relationship dynamics? Is it to work on diet or sticking with exercise? So I help you to understand what you need. Then, I help you understand how important that is to you. Because sometimes when we set a goal, we just get results oriented. We think of the end result, but that actually creates pressure on you. And what's more important is that you sensitively understand what you need to experience the change, not try to get to the goal. In other words, if you're having a really hard time feeling, and you don't feel energetic, you need to take a look at what you're doing in your life that's depleting you. That's obvious, but usually we keep thinking we have to do a lot of things that we don't need to do that are depleting us. I'll give you just kind of a random example. When I was pregnant, I would get nausea. And I was fortunate. It was the first trimester, first 10 days. And so what I did was I would go for a run. Because when you go for a run, it takes all the relaxin hormone, which is causing the nausea, because it relaxes the intestinal walls, and it so that the intestine can move up, make space for the uterus. So what happened was I'd experience nausea and I'd feel awful, but I knew the science of that the relaxin was doing this to my guts. So I'd go for a run, and that would take all the blood away and put it into my arms and legs. And within 10 minutes into the run, I had to really focus because I felt nauseous. I'd feel amazing. But I knew that I could do that. So I help you understand a science or a change that you need to make that gives you the leverage to be inspired from the inside, not follow a program that I give you or a protocol of repetitions and do this back exercise 19 times. It's not about that. It's about you understanding how to stay motivated, because you'll really be in touch with what you need, and a need is beautiful. And when you're in touch with your needs, then you're inspired. So I help you to be inspired from the inside. That's true motivation. And I help you to see if it's in which areas of your life you need to have the changes. And by the way, a higher fitness level informs all areas of your life. I'm convinced of that. We have the highest consciousness when our body feels alive. And I don't mean the strict discipline. I mean when you feel alive, when you feel awake, when you feel inspired, when you feel beautiful, when you feel met by life and you're meeting life. So I help you to understand how to do that from an inner inspiration. Okay, so then the third step when I meet with you is the inspirational support to keep going, to keep changing. Because when you start something different, a new, resolve to exercise or to eat differently, you're changing. And you need support to keep changing, because there's going to be these temptations, right? To keep up the old habit or slippery habits that will keep coming in. And you'll think, oh, I can skip today. I don't need to go to yoga. I don't need to do my exercises, or I can not do my core work. There's these ideas that'll come in, and you need to catch them and realize that this is a temptation to not change. When you change, you need to have a lot of support, and it needs to come from the structure in your life. For example, I exercise every day for 90 minutes. It's yoga or stretching or breathing, or honest to God, sometimes it's lying in Shavasana for 90 minutes because I'm pooched. But that's 90 minutes is my emotional sanctuary, my physical sanctuary, and I get that at all times. I've had people come to the door, I'm in my yoga studio, and I don't answer the door, and they can see that I can see them, and they must think that I'm just blind or something. I don't go to the door. That 90 minutes, I know that's a lot, but that's my time. I structure that, and I put it in my daytimer, like office hours. So structure is key, and you don't wiggle out of it ever. So let's say you can't exercise because you need to stay late for work, then you have a backup plan. And you do 15 minutes before you go to sleep that night of core work or of your back exercises. You absolutely have a structure that's bulletproof. That's necessary. The structure cannot be negotiated and bargained out. The other thing is you need to prepare for plateauing, because there's going to be some days where you feel like you're getting no results, or you'll feel like you're slipping back. That's to be expected. That's a test, actually. And that temptation of the test, that you're not doing enough or that you aren't getting any results, is honestly, it's just a test of your resolve. So that's where you fake it and you continue, even if you don't feel like you can. And you get on the yoga mat and you just go through it. You do your routine. You just go through it. There's no life in it. That's okay. Because your body will still respond, even if it's just slightly. What am I saying here? I'm saying it gets difficult as you go along to keep up with change. And also, so you have to have structure. The second thing is you need to train your family, your dog, and your manager. You have to train everybody that this is what you're doing. Every day at yoga, every day at lunch I go for yoga. And you have to train your manager. I know people at TD Waterhouse have been training their manager for 3 years. They're still training them that they're going to yoga Thursdays at noon. You have to keep restating what you're doing for your body, what you're doing for your soul, same thing. You must keep restating it, because it will get very easy and convincing that the laundry and the emails and the kids and the daycare are more important. They're not. So I help you develop the structure and the absolute steely resolve that you will continue to stay with the changes that you need to make in order to get results. And the fourth step is that I will help you with the saboteurs that keep showing up to tempt you. Remember that whenever you're changing, you're going to experience temptation. And temptation is that moment where you need a leverage to get you through it. And the leverage is to understand the thoughts that you're having, and those will create the emotions. So I help you to understand the very scientific link between thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Because what you think is creating your emotions, which is creating your behavior. So we have to look at that. And we need to be very precise. What is causing you to feel discouragement? Why are you speaking what I think of as regret language? Regret language is saying, why did I start this? I never stick with it. You are not allowed to have regret language or discouragement. You can feel it, but you can't emphasize it with language, because you're going to keep restating why you're not advancing, why you're not progressing. That's a sabotage experience. So regret, discouragement is sabotage. So I help you to step into the belief that's there, that's causing you to feel like you can't. And then I'll help you with a very real structure that you fake it until you can, and you just complete the exercise or continue eating the way you are. Because what we don't know is that temptation, that discouragement, or that discouragement is a temptation to keep you from advancing. If you weren't advancing, you would have the temptation of discouragement. So when you feel discouragement, it's a test to say, no, I'm going to keep going. You might not know how, but I'll show you how. And then you will get over this sabotaging moment of discouragement and not be tempted by it. And you will have the structure in place that you will absolutely do it. Nike was right. Just do it. So the fifth step is an understanding of the mind-body connection to help you keep with your goal, with your resolve. Whenever you're making changes, there's changes that are going on inside your body, adaptive changes. There's going to be muscle soreness. There might be back pain, knee pain as your body is adapting. This eustress, this positive stress, delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS, is something that trainers or teachers don't speak about, because there's usually not enough room in a class, time in a class. When we make changes in our body, that adaptive period usually requires a lot of, this is kind of funny, it actually requires a lot of movement. You usually require more aerobic activity in order to flush out the toxins that are accumulating in the body. But usually when you're sore, the last thing that you want to do is move. So again, this is where I help you with real education and support to move through those stiff moments, those times where your body's just too sore on the third day to continue. This can be expected. So when you know could happen, then I can help you to move past that sticking point. So when you have a real understanding of your body, then you feel safe to continue to progress effectively and safely and intelligently. And this is how you feel good in your body, is you know that you're doing things that are helping you. You're not just, again, following a routine because it's the routine, but you're doing it in the way that your body is responding healthfully to the positive stress. So it can be expected that you're going to have moments where you don't know how to continue, and you think maybe, for example, the exercises are causing muscle pain, and you don't know if it's adaptive pain or if it's overuse, and that's where I help you, because there's a big difference, and you'll know the difference, and I help you to understand that difference. So my enthusiasm to work with the body is contagious. That's what everybody notices. And I help you to experience that enthusiasm when you're working with your body, and to listen to it, yet go to the edge so that you have adaptive changes that create results.